This one is one of my special live streams where I focus on a specific album by another artist and don't play any of my own songs, which I know everybody is just very broken up about. Um, but today marks the 20th anniversary of All About Chemistry being released, which is Semisonic's most recent full-length release. They reunited a couple of years ago and recorded an album that was released last year called You're Not Alone. And I say album, it was actually an EP. But All About Chemistry was was their last full-length release, and it was released on March 13th of 2001. So my mom had this CD in the car and played it, quite a bit. And I didn't, I mean, I liked it at the time, and have a story that I'll tell in a second. But it wasn't until about 7 years ago that I, kind of rediscovered Semisonic and that album and all of that. And so it was really cool. But the first song off of the album is more or less the title track. And this is a song called Chemistry. And I said that I had a story for this. And basically, so this song came out when I was actually not even 9, but I was 8 when it came out. And I even then was kind of fascinated by lyrics. And so I asked my mom, I'm like, oh, what's this song about? And you'll see what they do with chemistry, with the word chemistry, and kind of using that as a euphemism. And so she was like, oh, Dan Wilson's daughter was taking a chemistry class, and he was really excited by it. And I bought that answer until I rediscovered him later, and you're going to laugh once you hear these lyrics. But anyway, this is Chemistry, the title track off of All About Chemistry, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I remember when I found out about chemistry. It was a long, long way from here. I was old enough to want him, but younger than I wanted to be. Suddenly my mission was clear. So for a while we conducted experiments. I was amazed by the things I learned from the fine girl with nothing but good intentions and a bad tendency to get burned. All about chemistry, won't you show me everything you know? I wonder what you do to me, oh, 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 oh. Sometime later I met a young graduate. When I had nobody to call my own, I told her I was looking for somebody to appreciate, and I just couldn't do it alone. So for a while we conducted experiments in an apartment by the river road, and we found out that the two things we put together had a bad tendency to explode. All about chemistry, won't you show me everything you learn? I memorize everything you do to me so I can teach you when it comes my turn. Fine spring day, California waves, sweet Pacific scenes through the windows of airplanes and hotel rooms. So when I find myself alone and unworthy, I think about all the things I've learned from the find women with nothing but good intentions and a bad tendency to get burned. All about chemistry, won't you show me everything you know? I wonder what you knew to me, oh, 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 oh. All about chemistry, won't you show me everything you learned? I'll memorize everything you knew to me so I can teach you when it comes my turn. It's all about chemistry, chemistry. It's all about chemistry, oh, 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 oh. All right, and that was Chemistry off of All About Chemistry, which tonight's live stream is all about, because it turns 20 today, which I, kind of implied this earlier that I was 8 when it came out, and the fact that it's 20 makes me feel a little bit old, but that's one of those things. It's fun because I grew up with this music, and I want to give a shout out to my dad, whose birthday is also today. And I told my mom earlier, I said, that's the first thing I think of when I think of March 13th, and then the second thing I think of is this. And I have actually been planning this for a year, believe it or not, because I knew about that and knew that it was going to be a Saturday, and had started doing these live streams, and so that was just one of those things that I was happy to be able to pull this off and do it there. But as I said, the meaning of that song was kind of hidden for a while, but using chemistry as a euphemism for sex or for a relationship or whatever, probably a good call not telling that to an 8-year-old, but that was one of those things where years later when I figured that out, it was just like, oh my gosh, that was crafty. So shout out to my mom for that one. So speaking of my mom, she always makes the comment about Dan Wilson's vocals, about how it's like it's right in her wheelhouse to sing, and I was finding that especially with this particular song. There are maybe ones that are a little bit more in my vocal range, but there are certain inflections that are kind of high up there, and so you kind of think about that, but you can pull them off, and so it's a very accessible vocal that Dan Wilson has, vocal range. And on the pre-chorus, you'll hear that. But this is a song called "Bad," and before the term "friend zone" was really in the lexicon, this was kind of the ultimate "I refuse to be in the friend zone" song, which we all need. And so this is a song called "Bad," and I hope you enjoy it. My little darling, it's a crying shame the way that you lead me on. And I got nobody but myself to blame, 'cause I always just played along. Well, show me a body that gets no love, and I'll show you a body that's way messed up. Well, it seems that you're aware of the effect you have on my head. If you feel like I'm too much, we can keep in touch, and I'll find someone else to bet. Find someone else. My little darling, I'm a tangled mess when you tease me the way you do. What it would be like I can only guess if you please me like I wanna please you. Well, show me a friendship that's pure and chaste, and I'll show you an engine that's dying to race. Well, it seems I need another way I can get my soul fed. I know we can be the sweetest friends, but if that's where it ends, I'm gonna find someone else to bet. Find someone else to bet. Find someone else. Well, the time has come for me to take care of myself instead. You know, if we remain on a spiritual plane, I will go insane. Don't make me find someone else to bet. Find someone else to bet. Find someone else. All right, and that was Bad by Semisonic. Like every song that I'm playing tonight, this was off of All About Chemistry, Semisonic's most recent full-length studio release. They put out, like I said, an EP called You're Not Alone, which is really good, by the way. But we're celebrating All About Chemistry tonight. So this, like I said, I rediscovered this album actually about 8 years ago, and then when I was in Spain, there were times, especially at the beginning, where I, felt kind of homesick, and so I would listen to All About Chemistry. There was one day that it was just really rainy, there was nothing to do, so I just stayed inside and listened to all three of Semisonic's albums, and it was really calming. And of the three full-length albums that they've released, All About Chemistry is definitely my favorite. And the interesting thing about it, you'll see this play out throughout the album, but it's a concept album, and so it starts off with like, yeah, it's all about chemistry, but it's not afraid to talk about where it gets messy, like with the song Bad. And this next one is another really good example. This is one that, even though it's a sad song, this is one of the ones that I had on repeat that made me think of home and calm me down a little bit. But this is a song called Act Naturally, and I really resonate with this because I've had relationships where I've been close with, or we had kind of a close group of friends, or her family or whatever, and it was just one of those things where, like, yeah, if they ask, like, just pretend like everything's normal. That's the best thing that you can do for me. And so this is Act Naturally, and I hope you enjoy it. A little secret just might be the kind of thing that you can't hide. It's growing like a tangled vine and rising like a river in the tide. Everybody knew when you walked in the room, I was just a fool for you. There was nothing I could do. Everybody sees you taking control of me. I'm not making more release. I'm just begging, darling, please. And naturally, don't let our trouble show. Don't let anybody know. Act naturally, doing it and make it out. Don't give them anything that they can have. Our little problem doesn't seem to be about to go away. It seems as though it's gonna keep on growing even more with every day. Everybody look, yeah, that was all it took. I can't help believing they can read me like a book. So hold your feelings tight till we figure out how to make it right. I don't know what I should, but I'd do it if I could. And naturally, just be you, beautiful. Just be you as you are. And naturally, doing it and make it out. Don't give them anything that they can have. Act naturally. Don't let our troubles show. Don't let anybody know. Act naturally. I'll be me before the fall. You be before this all came down. All right, and that was Act Naturally by Semisonic, again off of All About Chemistry, which turns 20 years old today, almost drinking age. Legally, I suppose, would be the way to put that. But a really, really good song there. And speaking of acting naturally, there's like I mentioned, Dan Wilson is like pretty well in my vocal range, but there's a note that I was coming up to, and I'm like, I would feel good about that. A really high note that he hits at the end. Of or a long run, I should say, of high notes, and so I just kind of kept it low, but that is all right. So this next song is one, and by the way, I should point out that Bad and this next one actually inspired a couple of songs of mine recently, and so I've played them on live streams. And part of the fun of this album was I knew how to play half the songs, and so learning the other half, or arranging them, I should say, because I'm almost positive I'm not playing the right chords on some of them, but making the arrangements work. But anyway, this is one song that inspired a song of mine called "Trainwreck in a Dumpster Fire," which was, I believe, a line that whatever the other Cuomo brother is. I was going to say the good one, but I feel like I read that he got into some hot water recently too. But he made reference to the first presidential debate this last election cycle being a train wreck inside a dumpster fire. And then there was like one other thing that he, or that's what it was. It was a train wreck inside a dumpster fire inside a hot mess or something along those lines. But anyway, so that inspired a song that I kind of wanted to have the same feel as She's Got My Number. But I'm going to play She's Got My Number now, and we're going to go from there. She's got my number, she always did. She can always see where my secret's hid. Everything about me is hers to tell. She's got my number, she always will. She's got my number, I must confess. One look in her eyes and I feel undressed. She can see right through all my little games. She's got my number, she's got my name. Late night driving with the telephone in the car, and I'm always waiting for the girl to come. I'll be lost on a lonely late night. She's got my number, she always did. She can always see where my secret's hid. Everything about me is hers to tell. She's got my number, she always will. Late night driving with the telephone in the car, and I'm always waiting for the girl to come. I'll be lost on a lonely late night driving with the telephone. I'll be lost on a lonely late night. All right, and that was She's Got My Number by Semisonic, again celebrating All About Chemistry turning 20 today. Just an absolutely phenomenal album. This is one of those albums that, I mean, you really don't hear albums like this anymore, where just like from front to back, it's just incredible. And this next one is one called Follow, and is just about kind of taking it slow and doing your best. And after that, everything will fall into place. And there's a line in there or a couple lines. One of them says, I wouldn't mind pretending, and I would sure love believing. And that's kind of it. With where I'm at, it's nice to think that effort will be rewarded, And by the way, when I say rewarded, people automatically assume that I mean sex. I don't. I just mean, treating me like a human being at a baseline level, and recognizing that, like, hey, I care about you, and so I'm putting in effort. You should too. That's kind of what that's about. They just happen to say it in a little bit of a sweeter way than I maybe did. Although bad is a little bit more along the lines of how I'm feeling. But this is Follow, and I hope you enjoy it. I would sure love believing in something that's never leaving. Would like to let go of the hurting when everything's so uncertain. You know I try to show you what I have inside. Could it mean that we've already met what I've been searching the whole world around? Take me wherever you go. Help me forget tomorrow. Love me your best, and I know all of the rest will follow. I wouldn't mind pretending in something that's never ending. Would like to believe that someday we won't be living this way. You know I tried to show you what I have inside. When we laugh it out, this all began when you're an old woman and I'm an old man. Take me wherever you go. Help me forget tomorrow. Love me your best, and I know all of the rest will follow. Love me as well as you know. All of the rest will follow. All right, and that was Follow by Semisonic off of All About Chemistry. So this next song is one of three, and there are probably more, by Minnesota artists. 3 songs, one of 3 that kind of deals with a little bit of a one-night stand, and one of them is Darling Nikki. Before that, there was Simple Twist of Fate by Bob Dylan, released in 1975. And then this song, which is Sunshine and Chocolate. By the way, I was going to do this live stream anyway, but as music always somehow relates to what's going on in my life, I went on, let's see, I think 3 dates with this particular person, one of which, or actually I should say 2 of which were just like hanging out at my place and, on the green couch and XYZ. So needless to say, things were going pretty well. And the most recent one was just on Wednesday. And she told me, she's like, oh yeah, she said, can you make me a playlist of, all your favorite artists? And I said, absolutely, that'd be something I'd be happy to do. And then we listened to it together while she was over. And she said, I kind of had you just make this playlist so that I could have an excuse to come over. And I was like, oh, that's nice. You don't necessarily need that excuse, but there we go. I appreciate that. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we were at. And then we were supposed to hang out again yesterday, and she texted me out of nowhere and was just like, hey, so not really looking for anything serious, and she's, might be moving. And so I was like, oh, well, if that's it, like, I'm willing to work with that and whatever. And she basically just said like, no, it's not that. I just don't really want to try anymore. That's essentially what it was. And she's like, it's not that, we couldn't make it work. It's just that, I don't want to. That was basically it. But, surface level 3 dates, you think like, oh, well, she let me down easy. She didn't, try to lead me on, but it was just kind of a retooling of the whole love is a choice thing. Um, so, and then when she was, saying all of this yesterday, she closes by saying, "But I wish you the best in the future." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. You do not get to say that." Because I know that's a lie. That's ridiculous. Or, maybe you do wish me the best, but wouldn't that let you off the hook? And so anyway, all of that to say, uh, just kind of that mentality of a whirlwind romance kind of got in my head with Sunshine and Chocolate, and I already liked this song. I didn't need another reason to like it, or even a reason to identify with it in order to like it. But this is Sunshine and Chocolate, and I hope you enjoy it. All of my life I've been searching for the perfect mate, and when I finally found the one, it was almost too late. Underneath the auditorium, she showed me why I would have waited all my life for somebody like sunshine and chocolate all over me, in my mouth and in my tree, around my body, under my hat. Sunshine, chocolate, just like that. I was alone when I woke up and found the note. It said, "You surely know how to fuck, but I gotta go. I hope you find someone to take care of and give yourself to. And until I can kiss you again, I wish you sunshine and chocolate every day, in your work and in your play, in your mouth and down your back. I wish you that sunshine and chocolate all over you, over everything you do, on your body and in your mind. Sunshine, chocolate, everything fine." Now my eyes are open wide as I travel around. Maybe some summer day I'll find her face in the crowd singing sunshine and chocolate every day, in your work and in your play, in your mouth and down your back. I wish you that sunshine and chocolate all over you, over everything you do, in your body and on your mind. Sunshine, chocolate, everything fine. Everything fine. Everything fine. Everything fine. All right, and that was Sunshine and Chocolate. I want to give a shout out to my friend Amanda, who is tuning in. Appreciate you for doing that. I'm thinking my parents are probably the other people tuning in. But whoever you are, thank you so much for doing so. And thank you to everybody who is going to be tuning in belatedly, even after I finish going live. You can still go back and listen to it on YouTube or probably Twitch too. I'm not super familiar with that platform, but that is that. Now, this next song is another one that inspired a song. Well, actually, um, Actually, I take that back. This was off a song off of the Animal Years, my album. There's a Josh Ritter album called The Animal Years, but I called mine that because all of the songs on there had animal metaphors to them. And this song inspired a song called "Cage the Elephant." But this is a song called "Who's Stopping You," and this one was actually co-written with John Munson, who is the bass player, and also the bass player for the New Standards, who is an awesome, awesome group out of Minnesota as well, that you should definitely check out. So this is "Who's Stopping You," and I hope you enjoy it. Take all that you got, multiply by zero, divide by the time you have left. That's X. Add it up and write it down. Tell me what you find. We're speaking in tongues, both of us dumbfounded. Our brains have been impounded by our hearts. Life is so uncertain. Look at all the hurting that we. Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you? We're wasting our time watching our old reruns, waiting for the good one that never comes. You say it beats working inside the happiness lurking inside your head. Step into the light, my friend. Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you? You said you had somebody better to become. Who's stopping you? 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 All right, and that was "Who's Stopping You." That was used in a Toyota commercial a couple of years later. But that was a song written by John Munson and Dan Wilson, the bass player and lead singer slash guitarist for Semisonic. And once again, we are celebrating All About Chemistry, which turned 20 years old today, which is very, very exciting. Uh, not again, it makes me feel old, so not from that standpoint, but just from like, hey, this is a good album and it really holds up. So this next song also inspired one of my songs. I can't remember what that one was called, but since we're here to celebrate Semisonic, you probably don't care. So this is a song called "I Wish," and obviously, actually, maybe not obviously. I don't know if I've said that, but Semisonic is from Minneapolis. I've got that great picture of Dan Wilson up there wearing a Twins shirt. Anybody can be a Twins fan. I'm not saying you have to, be from Minnesota to be a Twins fan, but that's typically our clientele. So anyway, they're a local Minnesota band, and another local Minnesota band, the Jayhawks, had one of their members, Gary Luris, play lead guitar on this song, "I Wish," and it's a really really cool solo at the end of the song. that I will not be attempting. You'll be happy to know. Um, but this is I Wish, and it's just a really really good song. So this is I Wish, and I hope you enjoy it. I wish I could be anyone but the one that I am now. Yeah, I wish I could see any scene but the one you hang around. I wish I could do anything but the thing I always do. No matter how I try to sing along, something is always wrong. What I wish I knew. I wish I could drive in the car that you drive around by the bay. Yeah, I wish I could ride in the back seat you're riding in today. I wish I could be more like someone you wish that I could be. No matter how I change it anyway, you won't even say if you really want me. I can try to please you, get down on my knees for you, go outside and freeze for you, cross the high seas for you, whatever you need me to. I can climb the trees for you, twist in the breeze for you. But there's one thing that I can never do. I can't believe for you. I can't believe in me for you. I wish I could turn into somebody far, far away. I wish I could make myself satisfactory in every way. I wish I could know whether you really know what you need. If I could only be somebody else, I wouldn't be myself, and maybe you'd want me. I can try to please you, get down on my knees for you, go outside and freeze for you, cross the high seas for you, whatever you want me to. I've been climbing trees for you, twisting the breeze for you. But there's one thing that I can never do. I can't believe in me for you. Yeah, I can't believe in me for you. All right, and that was "I Wish." Thank you, Amanda, for singing this beautiful song. I love it too. It's so sad, but a it's a weird mix because it's a sad thing of like you feel like you have to change that much for somebody else. But it's also a little bit empowering because it's just saying like, look, I can't believe in me for you. I believe in me. But I can't do that. I can't do that for you. And that's just one of those things. I'm not in the business of trying to change people's minds. Um, Other than, showing them that like, hey, I'm gonna put effort in and I expect the same of you. Um, but sometimes they go full Millenhausen and doesn't always work out. One day maybe. Um, but this next song is a song called "One True Love," and this is actually a duet with Carole King. I mentioned um, I mentioned the other one. I mentioned when I did the Carole King live stream. Um, when I did the Carole King live stream, I mentioned this song that they did a duet, and they called uh, Carole King called Dan Wilson like in the studio or whatever, and somebody, answered for him, and he's like, "Oh, who is it?" And it's Carole King, and he looks at him and he goes, "Shut the fuck up! No, it isn't. You're messing with me." And so they ended up getting to work together. And Dan's first thing that he said to her was, "My mom's a big fan of yours," and she said, "Thanks. You just made me feel really old." Um, that is that. And Amanda, I will get to your request. I will get to your request momentarily. That's that. And yeah, I'll play it in two songs. We'll do that. But this is "One True Love," and it's a duet with Carole King. And she could not be reached once again. Maybe, tried in February, I'll try again in April. But we'll figure it out. So this is "One True Love," and I hope you enjoy it. All above me, the stars are bright, and the sweet suburban breeze is blowing. And down the block are the marking lines of 100 friends who I barely know and don't know me, don't know me. None of them know me. And all through the party I want to leave all alone with one true love. I could be happy if only I can be in the dark with one true love. And in the middle of everyone, I still find myself with my thoughts alone. And in the middle of all the noise, look around myself at the shining toys that I don't need. I don't need. I don't really need. And all through the party I want to leave all alone with one true love. All of the lights are shining on me, but all I want is one true love. Near this world I can see lots of billions waiting in the sun. So I'd like to believe there'll be one of us for everyone. One of us for everyone. Enough to go around. But that's not what I found. And all through the party I want to leave all alone with one true love. I could be happy if only I could be in the dark with one true love. Every day and night I can be all alone with one true love, with one true love, with one true love, with one true love. All right, and that was One True Love by Semisonic featuring Carole King. And once again, Carole King, if you don't want me butchering your vocals, just appear on one of my live streams. It's pretty simple. Just throwing that out there, because I thought I did a pretty good job with your parts, but nothing can match. Nothing can match what you do. So you're looking for one true love, and it's all about finding that chemistry. But sometimes that doesn't work, and when that doesn't work, there's really only one solution, and that's this. Lonely boys and you lonely girls, here in the end of a lonely world, you're finding out if there's someone to cry about. Lonely girls and you lonely boys, playing alone with your lonely toys. Well, now don't be blue if there's no one to play with you. Get a grip on yourself, you know you should. I got a grip on myself and it feels good. Get a grip on yourself, take my advice. I got a grip on myself and it feels nice. When the lights go out and the party's through, there are always a few and nobody to do. Well, now don't despair, you'll eventually get there. And meanwhile, all of you lonely ones, here's what you do while you wait for the sun to rise above the loneliest kind of love. Get a grip on yourself, you know you should. I got a grip on myself and it feels good. Get a grip on yourself, take my advice. I got a grip on myself and it feels nice. And it feels nice, and it feels nice, and it feels nice. If you're looking for somebody to get a grip on you, first you gotta get a grip on yourself, it's true. Get a grip on yourself, take my advice. Yeah, I got a grip on myself and it feels nice. Get a grip on yourself, you know you should. Yeah, I got a grip on myself and it feels good. And it feels good. And it feels good. And it feels good. All right. So that was Get a Grip. Um, Fabulous, fabulous song. And just another prime example of how you don't have to actually say what you're talking about in order to get your point across. But by request, we had a song that this is actually one that I just wrote today. Um, and like I said, I was going through this relationship stuff, and my friend Amanda was saying you need to write like an empowerment song, and have it become your anthem. And so I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, but I want to do it in my like kind of sarcastic, funny way. And so I started thinking of this hook, which you'll see. But it was actually inspired by "When I Get to Heaven" by John Prine. Um, and so, and actually, while I'm on that topic, because I was just gonna say, um, I don't know the lyrics. I don't have them memorized. But I have an iPad right in front of me. And this is, yeah, I'm going to play both of these. So this is kind of a spoken part. You'll see kind of the idea there. But this is when I finally find the one that's my song, and then when I get to heaven. So I hope you enjoy both of them. So when I finally find the one, it's going to be a glorious thing. And everybody's going to regret that they didn't take my ring. Yeah, they could have had me, all to themselves, and all of that good stuff. And, they could have even seen my clean room. So, really, I hope that there will be tears when I'm over the moon. Because they missed out on a badass who's also got a good ass. They're gonna regret closing that can of worms. They missed out on a badass who's also got a good ass, but their sorry ass is gonna have to come to terms. So when I finally find the one, I'm gonna have so many stories, none of which the one can take any credit for. And when I finally find the one, everything will, just kind of fall into place. And trust me, I'll be happy when I see the look on my ex's face. Cause they missed out on a badass who's also got a good ass. They're gonna regret closing that can of worms. They missed out on a badass who's also got a good ass, but their sorry asses are gonna need to come to terms. Cause they missed out on a badass who's also got a good ass. They're gonna regret not closing that can of worms, cause they missed out on a badass who's also got a good ass. But now they're gonna have to come to terms. When I get to heaven, I'm gonna shake God's hand, thank him for more blessings than one man can stand. Then I'm gonna get a guitar and start a rock and roll band. Check into a swell hotel. Ain't that afterlife grand? And then I'm gonna get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl, cause this old man is going to town. Then As God is my witness, I'm gonna go back into show business. I'm gonna open up a nightclub called the Tree of Forgiveness and forgive everybody ever done me any harm. Well, I might even invite a few choice critics, those parasitics. Buy 'em a pint of Smithix, and smother 'em with my charm. 'Cause I'm gonna get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss the pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, this old man is going into town. Yeah, when I get to heaven, I'm gonna take that wristwatch off my arm. What you gonna do with time after you bought the farm? And then I'm gonna go find my mom and dad and my good old brother Doug. Well, I bet him and cousin Jackie are still cutting up a rug. I want to see my mama's sisters, 'cause that's where all the love starts. I miss 'em like crazy, bless their little hearts. And I'll always remember these words my daddy said. He said, "Buddy, when you're a dead peckerhead. I hope to prove him wrong. That is, when I get to heaven. 'Cause I'm gonna have a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. Gonna kiss that pretty girl there on the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, this old man is coming into town. Yeah, this old man is coming into town." All right, and thank you for that lovely little aside, Amanda. That is When I Get to Heaven by John Prine. And before that, When I Finally Found the One. And that whole thing was started with that hook of I'm a badass with a good ass. And, where's the lie in that? So there's my empowerment song. And I didn't get a chance to type out the lyrics. So once I do, I'll throw that on another live stream once I've worked it out a little bit better. But nonetheless, I do appreciate that request. So this next one, speaking of empowerment, this is a song called Surprise. And this is all about just rising up against any critics or anything like that. And kind of letting them know that once you do, the people who didn't believe in you can be pushed to the side. So this is Surprise, and I hope you enjoy it. I feel the day arriving soon when I can't stay around anymore. They're looking all the familiar rooms until they feel the breeze through the door, and then they can say it's the company that I keep. So they can never have to believe the tears that I weep. I'm gonna surprise them all when they look and I'm gone, gone, gone. I'm gonna surprise them all when they look and I'm moved along. Already moved along. You can say if you have to do, it's got to be your own decision. But someday I will be back for you, then you'd better not refuse me again. 'Cause one more chance is all I'm promised to provide. And circumstances choose for those who can decide. I'm gonna surprise them all when they look and I'm gone, gone, gone. I'm gonna surprise them all because I've already moved along. Already moved along. I'm gonna gonna surprise them all when they look and I'm gone, gone, gone. I'm gonna surprise them all because I've already moved along. Already moved along. All right, and that was Surprise by Semisonic. That was the second to last track, at least off of the standard edition of All About Chemistry, which we are celebrating by playing it in its entirety tonight. So I say that because there are a couple of Japanese bonus tracks. So if I have anybody tuning in Japan, I apologize, but I don't know those bonus tracks. I think I'm pretty safe in saying that I probably don't, but who knows? So speaking of surprising people, with this particular album, the drummer wrote a song. How about that? So Jacob Schlichter, he actually, when Semisonic went on hiatus, he wrote a book. So more than just a song, he wrote a whole book called "So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star," and really entertaining read. Just some great stories, but one of them was he was talking about how about the making of All About Chemistry, and he said that ironically enough. They started working on the album that would become All About Chemistry in like 3 separate locations, and so he got this song on the record, and he was kind of self-deprecating about it. He said, they stuck it at the very end, but it was still on the record, so that was good. But this is one of my absolute favorites, and I could spend another hour just dissecting all of the like really good lines and all of these songs that I played tonight. But this one I'll do a little thing at the end. So this is El Matador, and like I said, it was written by Jacob Schlichter on piano, and then the kind of kick drum that comes in, not here, but in the studio recording, which I'll post in a little bit. So this is El Matador, and I hope you enjoy. Matador sweeps the veil from the last young day of my life. Malibu tides in hail, the Santa Ana winds from behind. Way down into the water, no more chances this year. Busied myself all summer, my day for swimming is here. Yes, it's time. Seaside revelations, all these dreams and visions of mine, washed up like a vacation, lost as I wasted my time. Looking through my dark glasses, I see the smiles on the faces of friends. But time keeps pushing me on now, and I'll ride this wave to the end. Please don't go away. Stay a while, stay a while. Please don't go away. stay a while, stay a while. Say goodbye to the weekend and the last of the summertime sun. Driving on the end of a decade, so many things to be done. September and the trees are restless, wind chimes blow in the dark. Lying on the couch defenseless, blue clouds court and spark. Please don't go away. Stay a while, stay a while. Please don't go away. Stay a while, stay a while. Please don't go away. Stay a while, stay a while. Please don't go away. Stay a while, stay a while. All right, and that was El Matador by Semisonic, written by the drummer Jacob Schlichter. Yeah. So that was all about chemistry. I threw in one of mine and a John Prine song in there as well. But all about chemistry. That is that album in its entirety, like I said, minus the bonus tracks. So just quickly, the lines from that song, I mean, especially when they get to the second part of the song, the driving off the end of a decade, I used that at the end of 2019, as we started the 2020s, and how fun was that? There's that. September and the trees are restless, just phenomenal imagery. And then lying on the couch defenseless. That's I've done that before. And then so when I was in Spain, I would make these photo albums and whatever. And the first one that I did was called Journey of the Featherless, after a Cloud Cult song. It was right next to Dan Wilson. And then the second one, or the last one I should say, that I did was one called Please Don't Go Away. And that was referencing El Matador. So I'm going to post this album, even though I normally don't do that. But this album kind of flopped in the United States and shouldn't have. My producer, Andrew, was saying that he thinks it's because the title track was a little bit nerdy. And so the nerd rock monopoly was basically had by Weezer. And so that might have been part of it, but just really, really good imagery, great songwriting, and worthy of a celebration. So be sure to check me out on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, and Facebook and Instagram and all of that good stuff as Minnesota Mike. If you would like to tip, not too late to do so, always accepting Venmo. And PayPal and Cashapp, all under Minnesota Mike Music. Next week, we're doing all Irish tunes. I'm really excited for that. So stock up on some Guinness. Go to your local pub. I'm kidding. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, but still stock up on Guinness, and I'll see you next week.